Hello everybody, welcome back to another budget with me video. I've decided that I'm going to do one of these videos because I haven't done one in a while and I'm ready to expose myself on the internet again, only because it's for a good cause. If you watched my April plan with me, then you would know that I spent a lot of time kind of scrambling this past month. I mean, I've been working on it for a while, but really in the past month to get everything done for tax season. Tax season is upon us and I was pretty much forced to get all of my finances in order, document all of my expenses, make sure I had everything ready for the accountant so that I could just be done with everything and send it over. This past year, I did a lot of spending. I still stayed within my budget, but I could have been a lot better. I'm gonna start these videos again just to keep myself on track, like I said, and just to manage it a little bit more, because I don't want to be in the same position again next year. We're not doing that again. So I have a couple of disclaimers in this monthly money video. I won't really be talking that much about my business expenses. These are mostly like personal expenses. Some things in there might be like business here and there, but I didn't include all of my business expenses in this, is what I mean. You're not seeing my full spending and my full expenses all around. I did a lot of these videos in the past. They really helped me to stay on track with my money. I feel like right now I have a pretty good relationship with money. It hasn't always been this way, but budgeting has definitely helped. In the past, I would feel like I never had enough money and there was a lot of anxiety around like what I was doing with my life and like the next thing that I was gonna do and how I could be making more of it. That feeling still comes back every now and again, but in general, I think budgeting really helps to get rid of that feeling. Budgeting doesn't mean that you have to be penny pinching. Really, it just helps you to know how much money you have, know how much money you are bringing in, know how much is going out, and exactly where you are spending. And it has really helped me because I was able to simplify my life and really only spend money on things that I'm really passionate about. So I guess that's also another disclaimer. If you haven't been here, you would know that I was living in St. Croix, but when I left there, I actually pretty much decided that I didn't want to be paying rent anymore. So that's like a big expense that I am lucky, very privileged to not have to pay. Like, that's not one of my monthly expenses. I know that's an area where a lot of, like, most people's money go into, you know, housing, paying rent or a mortgage or something like that. And I mean, there are downsides to not having my own space, but I'm just like in a very good position with like family and stuff where like it doesn't really matter to me that much. So if you're wondering if you should be budgeting, the answer is yes. I really feel like no matter how much money you are making, it's always good to know exactly where you're spending your money. Even if you only have one credit card bill, just knowing how much money you're spending every month and in what categories you're spending that money. If you have any goals for anything that you want to save up for, budgeting is a really good way to get you started. I feel like sometimes we may not even realize how much money we're spending on certain things until we decide to sit down and budget one day. And it's not something that takes a lot of time. Going through all of my statements for the past month literally only took me like 30 minutes. Just take some time out of your day to do the same and set yourself up for success for the next month. Okay, so in today's video, I don't think I've done this before, but I'm going to actually share my screen. I'll show you guys what my spreadsheet looks like and how I keep track of my money. I already did all of this for the month. It's not like I'm actually going to be typing in the numbers while we're here. I wanted to make this a quick video for you guys. The first thing that I do is I pull up all of my statements. Goes on the big monitor over here, and then I go into this tab down here called monthly transactions. So you'll see, I'm literally exposing myself here, all of the expenses that I had on my personal cards for the past month. So I literally go in, I type in all of the transactions, so all of the vendors, I guess, I forget what you call them, but basically all of the people that I'm paying, put in the cost, the total cost, and then I put in the category. So the way that this spreadsheet works is that the categories here, I have like a drop down, they are linked on this side. So anytime I populate something here, see I have multiple miscellaneous shopping here, it'll actually add them up in this section over here where it says miscellaneous shopping. So it's adding them up and totaling it on this side. So I just go through line by line and add anything that I need to add here. The ones with parentheses are any negative. So like if I had something subtracted from a bill or something. This need to be reimbursed column here is basically if it is a business expense, if I need to reimburse myself from the business account. So that's how I keep track of it here. I'm not going to go through each individual transaction, but I will point out some specific ones. PayPal Pay in 4, I feel like that's one that I could mention. If I'm purchasing something online and there's some way for me to split up the payments, as long as there is no interest, regardless of if I have the money for it or not, I will always split up the payments. You'll notice I have some PayPal Pay in 4 payments payments here, all of those were purchases that I made that I definitely could have just paid off one time, but if I don't need to give away all of my money at once, then I just prefer not to. So I'm editing this video right now, and I feel like I have to pop in and say that I still will only make that purchase and split it up if I know that I have the money to make that purchase, because you can get yourself into more debt if you feel like you have smaller purchases per month. Don't do that. Just only make the purchases if you have the money. Lachey is the girl that I go to get my eyelashes done. I would say that that's not an expense that I usually have, but since I've been in Trinidad, it's a thing that I have been doing just because it's a lot cheaper than getting it done at home, and it's really relaxing, and it's like a self-care thing. And honestly, it really helps with when you wake up not feeling like you actually have to do much to get ready. And yeah, it's just fun. So that expense is definitely one that has been recurring, but I feel like sometimes you just need to treat yourself. And look how cheap it is, $30 for a refill. That is not happening in the VI. TT Rideshare is basically the Uber of Trinidad. I use it a lot to get around, especially if I know that I'm going out. If I'm going out with friends and we're going to be drinking and I don't want to drive, or if I'm going somewhere where the parking might not be the best, or if it's like an area that might not be the best to like drive the car, then I will use TT Rideshare. It's very convenient, but the cost really does add up. It's kind of expensive. A lot of my expenses over the past month was TT Rideshare. AT&T, I'm still on the family plan, but while I'm here in Trinidad, I do pay extra for my phone because the best international deal that they could give me is to pay $10 a day whenever I do want to use my data. So I pay for the additional costs on my phone bill. So that's what I did here. So as you can see, I spent $121.11 on my phone bill this past month, and my goal is to not spend that much. If I'm going out and I'm on my own, I would prefer to have data, so that's why I don't mind paying for that bill. And also sometimes I need my clients to be in contact with me, so I would prefer to have my phone data on when I leave the house, so I'm not disconnected from the world when I leave. Luna, I went out to brunch. It was really nice. It was worth the money. I don't go out to like nice restaurants that often when I'm here, so yeah, that was really nice. Another charge that I will point out is this one here that says interest charge on purchases. I am a person that likes to completely pay off the credit card bill every single month, but that was not something that I did in the past month, so I had an interest charge for the first time in an extremely long time. So I'm not proud of that one, and my goal is to not ever have that happen again. But sometimes it happens. I did pay the minimum. I paid more than the minimum, but I just didn't pay off the full bill. But it's $46.99 that I could have just had that is now not mine. So yeah, I'm not happy about it, but it's there. Other recurring expenses that I have: Spotify, Hulu, Apple monthly installments. That's actually the last one for that. That was my Apple Watch. Yeah, again, if there's something that I don't need to pay for all at once, I'm not going to do it. I got that Apple Watch probably like a year ago now, or like 2. It's like 2 years ago now, I think. And yeah, iCloud storage, I pay for that $10 a month, and that's also recurring charge. Now that we've gone through all these expenses, like I said, on the side here, it totals everything up for me. So my totals for the month: on utilities, which is just my phone bill, I spent $121.11. On groceries, I spent $22.40. Restaurants, $93.39. Hair, eyebrows, and nails, that's literally just my lashes, $29.77. TT Rideshare, Uber, Lyft, transportation, I spent $139.67. Entertainment, $19.19. Miscellaneous shopping, that's all the PayPal paying for, because those were really all just clothes, $150.27. And then other, $82.93. So that's like iCloud storage and stuff. I just switched over to this monthly budget page, which is basically the dashboard. So all of those categories that I just went through are even further categorized on this page. So it's under housing, which is housing and utilities, so my phone bill is under there. Food, so that's all of the groceries, restaurants, everything all together. So in total on food, I spent $115.79. On personal care, I spent $29.77. On transportation, $139.67. Miscellaneous, I spent $252.39. I feel like this really helps even more than this page where it breaks it up into the different categories. The amount that I spent on food in total, cool. I don't mind that I spent more on restaurants than groceries. Actually, I don't really spend much on groceries when I'm here. So, I don't really mind that I treated myself. Personal care, that cost is extremely low. I will say that I would like to spend more this coming month because I would like to go to the gym. While I'm here, I actually do personal training, but I do think I want to do a gym membership. I haven't actually made up my mind about that yet, but I anticipate that my costs for the next month is going to go up in this category for sure. I don't think I'm going to be doing my lashes anymore, only because I'm going to go back to the VI soon and I don't want to have to pay to upkeep them. My birthday's coming up, but still I just don't feel like I want to do my lashes before I leave, so I will not have that expense next month. Transportation, I don't want to spend that much. To be honest, I want to cut that in half. I'm just going to not spend that much money on TT rideshare this month. That is a little bit too high for me. That was definitely one of those expenses that kind of creeped up where like every little purchase doesn't seem to be that much, but all together, the fact that I spent $140, I don't like that. The miscellaneous category is also one that threw me off because I spent $252.39, and this category is basically things that don't really matter. So the fact that I spent over $250 on things that don't really matter is kind of annoying. I will say that some of the things that I paid for in this category, so all the miscellaneous shopping and like the PayPal paying for stuff, those things are actually like things that trickle down from carnival time. So those purchases that I made a few months ago, I guess it's not too bad. I won't be spending that much in that category again anytime soon. I really don't spend that much on like clothes and stuff. Yeah, I don't really think it's going to be that high again, but I was just kind of shocked at how high it was right now. One big expense that I know that is coming up is that I need to buy my ticket to go back to the VI, so I haven't done that yet, and that will definitely be happening this month. That's something that will pop in here in the transportation travel section. I'll be doing this video again next month, so you guys will actually be able to see if I am able to control myself and stick to the things that I said in this month. So I think a good thing to do would be to go through this list right now and tell you guys like what I would like my actual budget to be for April. So for housing, for the amount that I'm paying on my bills, on my phone bill right now, sorry, for next month, right now it's $121, and I'm fine with this number staying below $150. So that means 15 days out of the month I'm fine going out and spending money on my data. I think I want to keep food at $100 total. For personal care, I feel like I can put this at like $80. For transportation, I want to cut this number in half. Let's say it was $140. Let's make this $70. And on miscellaneous things, honestly, I shouldn't be going higher than like $100. Now you guys know, you know what my budget is for April. So in total, I'm going to hopefully not go above, how much is that? Hey Siri. What's 150 plus 100 plus 80 plus 70 plus 100?
It's 500.
Okay, so you heard it from Siri. I'm not going to be spending more than $500 next month. So I'm feeling pretty good about the number. It seems very manageable. So again, like I said, these aren't really all of the expenses that I have. I do have like a lot more expenses, like business expenses, but the good thing about the type of business that I have is that a lot of my everyday expenses can also become business expenses because I do a lot of filming, I do a lot of lifestyle videos, and once things are included in my videos, then I can actually write those up as business expenses. So a lot of things are actually over on that site. So maybe I will start to include some of those in future videos so that you guys have more like a well-rounded idea of how much I'm actually spending every month. But for now, I know we are a whole week into April already, but I just want to say that it's not too late to just sit down and check out how you did last month and come up with a goal. We have 3 more weeks in this month, so you can just go ahead and get started. You don't have to wait for a whole new month to come around before you decide to do this. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or if there's anything else that I could talk about that would make this a little bit better for you, let me know. And thank you guys for joining, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.